Good afternoon, folks. You are listening to Conversation Oasis here at Radio Robin Hood, coming to you from Kasviskeidas restaurant here in the city center of Turku. I am Nana Blomqvist and I'm a junior researcher at Åbo Academy and I will be hosting this program. With me today I have David Mawby, who is actually the host regularly, but he has handed over the responsibility to me, so now he's only a participant in this program.
Equality for all.
Yes, equality for all. And Jalal, who is also a regular here and the owner of the restaurant. And we have Kirsi. Your surname was Linna Mäki. And you have been working as a teacher at the University of Applied Science in Tampere with integration. And then as a special guest we have Paco Diop, who is it called, or you were awarded to be a new citizens of the Turku of the Year,
yes.
If that's the English title for that prize. We will talk maybe a bit more about that after we have started. But Paco, you wanted to raise the issue of integration of children. What in particular do you have in mind where to start on this topic? It's quite broad, sort of.
Yeah, actually, I am a coach and I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
And I have lived like 11 years now in Finland.
Yeah.
So in daily basics, I work with kids. I see what's happening in this society.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm not gonna name my workplace, but at least the place where I'm working, there are a lot of foreign kids that are there.
Yeah.
And since that, for me, it's a very interesting topic. Actually, it can be also a taboo topic. Sometimes people don't want to talk about it.
How?
Well, because there are a lot of stuff, a lot of things that foreigners who live in this country don't know. That the right information are not understood well.
They're not reached.
Yes, they don't reach them, or they are not capable of understanding the information because it's in Finnish language.
Yeah.
And what is the impact of that on children? Is that what you want to talk about?
Yes, like exactly. And for me, the impact is that I'm going to give you an example now.
Yeah. Please do.
Imagine a kid that speaks at home a foreign language, any kind of Arabic, it can be Somali, it can be any kind of language.
Kurdish.
Yeah, Kurdish.
Dari, yeah.
And in the kindergarten, the kids will try to learn Finnish language.
Yeah.
And in that environment, that kid doesn't have, for me, the kid doesn't have the same advantages than a normal kid, a Finnish kid that will speak at home Finnish language with both parents and go to the kindergarten and speak the same language.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the system is not working, but it's not working for everyone. And that's a fact. These kids, they stay behind.
Because of the language. So
yes,
you mean they are disadvantaged?
They are disadvantaged, like a lot. Mm-hmm. And how do you know it? When I came here in 2005, I tried to get to University of Turku.
Yeah.
I have tried political science as like you, and because of my poor Finnish language, I could not get there.
I see.
And I'm absolutely sure that in general, I love language. I love studying language. I'm good.
You speak quite a few languages.
I'm good in language, but still, it was not enough for me. And I had to go back, study Finnish 3 years, almost, in the academic level to be able to get in.
Yeah.
And finally, I got in 2011, in the French department. But the test was also in Finnish.
Yeah.
But when I walk there in Turku University, I don't see foreigners. I don't see foreigners. I'm not talking about foreigners who came here to do their masters. I'm talking about foreigner that has grown.
Like former asylum seekers, maybe.
For example, here or who have lived here more than 15 years, 20 years.
Exactly.
So they are not integrated into the system.
They are not. They are
in the
not,
university system.
I don't see them there, or if
Yeah.
I see, I can't count them.
Yeah.
And you go to work in the kindergarten, so you start seeing stuff, you start understanding stuff like, where is, like, these kids, they are in kindergarten, they learn Finnish language, they are in the Finnish society. They go to school like every normal Finnish kids.
Yeah.
But in somehow, they are blocked somewhere. They don't reach like the higher level of studies, for example.
Yeah.
And then they easily become underachievers at school.
Exactly. And
And parents are not even aware of that if
they are not
well
aware,
educated.
because the kids are, like, I think this is the funny thing, I think even the kids, because of kindergarten, understand more how in Finland things work than the parents themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So they
Because they have the chance
Yeah.
to be taught that.
Is it the fault of the teachers, or is it just that the system hasn't recognised the problem?
It cannot be the fault of teachers, because, for example, I work with lovely people. I work with people that
Yeah.
really want to change things.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
But
it's
I
the system.
think the system,
Yeah.
But the matter is not that simple to look at. I think there are more things.
it's
to it.
not simple.
Because
And,
one of the things that I've noticed
yeah.
as foreigners, many of these kids have a different culture.
Yeah.
They are more noisy. They are more troublemakers, and then
all the kids
then-
are. All the
then-
kids, I'm not
then-
going to cut you. All the kids are noisy and troublemakers, and I
But-
love the kids when they are
but
troublemakers.
I
It
have
it means there
cases.
is life.
I have cases
Life.
that the foreign kids have been like more making physical problem or physical game with their friends, and that those are considered to be aggressive here in Finland. In their own culture, these are not aggressive. These are kids playing with each other. And then the parents are gathering. Then they complain to the parents of this foreign kid. And then there are a lot of other things like my cousin child recently has come to Finland, and she goes to the school. I ask her how is there in the school. She says that they don't become my friend. It's very difficult. She says she's 10 years old. She says it's not easy to be friend with them. So this way they grow, and so they get back to their own minority community, you know.
Let me
And
just.
then there are a lot of
excuse
other
me.
things involved. It's not just language barrier.
But let me just cut
Yeah.
you there. You know, I've been in
So
this
what
field.
else?
I have been in this field 3 years. Don't blame the kids, please. It's not their fault.
No,
it's not their background.
It's not
no.
about it's not about blaming, but I mean
it's
these are facts.
culture-specific
These are
things.
issues.
Yeah,
There are
that's a
cultural
good
things.
case to go. Let Papa give the
Yeah.
answer.
What I mean is that, like, these kids that I'm talking about, most of them they were born here.
yeah.
You know, I'm not talking about the kids that just arrived here. I'm talking about the kids that were born here, or when they came here, they were like 2 months old.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But
It's
still they are raised up by their parents.
Yeah,
and they
but-
have that identity.
No, but like, this is the funny thing. In the kindergarten that I work, you cannot say that foreign kids bring more violent or are more violent than Finnish kids. That's absolutely not true. As a teacher, and I'm saying that, as a teacher, I see this every day. Every family has their own way of educating their child. In every family there are like difficulties or problems, but of course it reflects on the child and like how he behaves like in the daily basis. But kids that were born here in Finland, even though they have at home problems, we cannot say that it's because they come from Iraq, it's because they come from Senegal, it's because they come from somewhere else.
That
But
it's
they-
not, you
you
mean
know,
it's not fruitful to understand
no,
as a
no,
cultural
no.
thing.
They
It's
are
more
kids.
we have to understand more like the more particular issues at
Yes.
stake, like trauma maybe and also
Trauma exists in every family. I tell you that it's not like that. The trauma is specific to a certain,
So what
family
do you
or-
think? What are the skills that they should have and they lack now?
Sorry.
What are the skills they should have and they lack now?
Or
Because
maybe
now
it's not skills only, it's maybe also like circumstances, that they need some kind of circumstances that are lacking, maybe in the family or perhaps or for example, thinking of that if the parents are troubled by the cultural and geographical reorientation, it gets heavy for the child because the parents can't handle it, and then the child is kind of in between and becomes squeezed.
But I think we have to start with the big picture,
without the adult.
not go into details.
Like you are very right. I'm just gonna develop a little. When I propose this about like let's talk about kids, for instance, kids integration.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not seeking for critics. I'm not seeking for like we can propose solutions, but it's deeper than that. The main issues that we have for me is that it starts from like the beginning when their parents came here in Finland.
Yeah.
The integration of the adults.
Yeah.
The whole family.
The whole family.
Yes.
Like we take that as a case.
This rings very true because I remember I came to Finland many years ago. My son grew up and went to school, and he had to listen to all the frustrations that I came home from work with about the culture clash, the way of doing things, because I'd been conditioned 21, 22 years in another country and come to Finland, and it was very hard for me. I could see that I had to sort of censor myself deliberately so that my frustrations wouldn't go over to him, because I wanted the best for him education-wise, and also to be accepted in school.
And that like you have to be very strong as a person to be able to hide that from your family.
It's very difficult.
And it's not everybody who can do that.
Yeah, and hiding is probably almost impossible. You have to actually either sort of get the support.
Try to protect them, I mean.
Yeah,
like,
protect from, and that means that you have to be able to emotionally carry the burden of integration of yourself.
Yes.
And the parents, like there are still adult people who have been living here for 20 years or something. They don't even speak Finnish.
Which is really sad.
And that seems like Finland has
that's
failed.
That's why I'm not going to blame the system, because it's not only the system's
But we
fault.
need to see the weaknesses.
The system the system has.
There is you don't recognize the identity of these families, and so foreign family are all the time repeating to children, you never become a Finn, you remain Iraqi or African or Arab or this and that.
Well,
and
not everybody, sir.
Most of them.
Not most of them, actually.
But Jalal,
when I'm speaking as a foreigner, like
but I have seen it all the time.
Yeah, that's why I said
we need
not
to remember
everybody.
one thing here.
That's not everybody.
But I didn't say you don't listen to me very well. I didn't say I didn't. Yeah, please. I said most of them are very strong. They have very strong identity, and they are emphasizing all the time.
But we need to remember something here. We need to remember that this emphasizing identity might be an expression of the difficulty in
their own integration.
Yes, that it's too heavy. That it's too heavy for that their self-esteem can't carry them through the process.
Absolutely.
And that the reaction is to kind of get stuck on your identity, sort of.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's a problem for the children.
exactly.
Exactly. That's why I wrote the subject like.
So what do you see as solutions?
I cannot like say this is the solution.
But
at least I can. At least from my own experience, I always say this. When I came here, they told me that okay, the first thing you need to do is go to learn Finnish language.
Yeah.
I was in Raisio for over a year.
Yeah.
I studied Finnish. Thank God, like as I said earlier, like I love languages. Thank God I had very fast learn Finnish language, so that I was able to go to work and like do and connect with the society.
Yeah.
But my case, honestly, my case should not be taken as as an example, because there are people there that need more help, support and understone.
And what
Especially
else? What else do you think that people need that this?
I'm gonna come there. Let me just finish. 1 year of to learn Finnish language in 1 year is not enough
No.
for foreigners.
It's
And
a
I'm going to tell
lifetime.
you, the advantage that I have is that I have French as my second mother tongue. So the alphabet of Finnish language and French, they are almost the same.
Yeah.
There are like few letters that are like different, but it's I can learn quickly Finnish language, but the Somalia,
Yeah.
the Arabic, they cannot learn as fast as me Finnish language. It means that 1 year that I have managed to learn Finnish language like this fast,
This
it might take for them 2 or 3 years before they are able to speak language. And this is the thing. After 1 year and a half, their school is ended.
Yeah.
Sir, their school is ended, and this is what they're gonna tell them. Now you have the diploma, like you have learned basic Finnish language.
Yeah, yeah.
You are able to understand, how society work and like go to find work yourself. And they don't. They can't. Even myself, I remember that I have like huge difficulties to be able to write something there or like find work for myself. It was not possible. And this is I'm saying Finnish society is losing,
Yeah.
and they are losing a lot of potential economically, money. I'm talking about economics because
And human well-being.
you come here, they put you there over a year to learn Finnish language. At that time, you are paid, like they said, you are kind of paid. We call it like paid, but it's the support that Kela is giving to you.
Yeah.
That support, that amount of money,
Yeah.
calculate, imagine, over like 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
All that money will just go in the garbage because those foreigners who are there learning. If you take 20 foreigners, three
Will manage.
will manage to understand and will use that skills, find work and stuff.
You are listening to Conversation Oasis here at Radio Robin Hood. I am Nana Blomqvist, the junior researcher from Åbo Academy, and I am hosting this program. With me today I have David Mawby, who's usually a regular host, but has given over the responsibility to me, and Jalal, who owns this restaurant, and Kirsi, who has been working as a teacher at University of Applied Science in Tampere, and Paco Diop, who has been working with a lot of different things, but right now as a kindergarten teacher and studying French at Turku University. We have been talking about the challenges of integration, and especially now on the language and how Finland is losing potential in failing integration process. Jalal, you wanted to say something.
Can I ask you a question, Jalal? How long did it take you to learn basic Finnish? You come now. I should explain that you come from Iran.
I started I was 5 years waiting for my permission.
Yeah.
And
Which is a
after
long time.
it's a long time. And then after that I started to work. I never got to any Finnish courses. I learned my Finnish in the bar that I own too.
Right.
So it's a Finnish bar language.
Okay, that's a very good language. Similar experience myself. I mean, I originally come from the UK, and I first came here to live, sort of more or less permanently, in 1974. And much as I look back in anger and say, why was I sent to the countryside at the time, I think it did me the world of good, because I was thrown in like a swimming pool into the deep end, and I had to learn, and I had to go on, I had to study hard, but it took a hell of a long time. I mean, not all of us are linguists, and Paco, you're lucky. I mean, your own native language from Senegal, French, English, Finnish, I'm sure, and I don't know how many others. We have to accept that not everyone is a linguist, but to succeed in this country, one way or another, you have to know Finnish, or maybe in Swedish.
Yeah.
In some parts of the country, you'll get by.
But it's a very small part of the country where you manage with only Swedish.
And it's I think I've always likened it to climbing Mount Everest, and sometimes I've thought that climbing Mount Everest might be even easier. But that's just a joke that I would throw in, but it demonstrates the point as to that really, if you... Finns are the first, people who are born in this country are the first to say, yes, we have a hard language, ha ha ha, and use it. But I had to encounter, when I was learning Finnish, even people who were scared that I was breaking the code, you know,
Absolutely.
And I found that to be most disconcerting. Okay, there are rude people in every society, and let's remember that the English can't speak their own language anyway. But it doesn't help when you're dealing with what is, as most people will recognize, is a remote language in Europe. And to learn it is a commitment. It is a commitment of the mind.
Exactly.
It requires many megabytes.
And it also requires self-esteem,
And
because
yes,
it's a challenge.
it
And
is.
And if you have a broken self-esteem for a reason or another, for example,
you come
rape,
from war. You're a
Exactly.
rape victim. Yeah, you're
And
going
so
to have problems.
and,
So many
race,
things.
and racism here
So many things.
breaks
That's
down
right.
So many.
the
Luckily,
self-esteem.
look at this is not television, but I managed. I was helped. People would help you, but 9 times out of 10, and I don't know how it was for you, Paco, but
Very hard.
I can tell you that it was very hard because people will not help you. You will be looked at and say, because you're making a mistake, but no one will tell you you are making a mistake, and that was. But the answer, those are the problems. The answer is how to address those problems and make it easier.
You know what? Even now, when people, when some people think that my Finnish language is very good, is wonderful.
It is good.
Yeah, but even now, I think that's like, personally, I think that I want to speak better Finnish one day. But I'm going to tell you this: the system cannot demand us foreigners to speak Finnish language fluently.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem. Some, as job seeker, we should be understood so that this language is really hard for the natives already.
Yes.
So for
correct.
us,
very good point.
sometimes, of course, it depends of the field, what field we are talking about. But sometimes it's enough to take somebody to go to work if he or she is able to understand, what they call in Finland työohje.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the basic things. But if you are waiting that Paco will speak Finnish language like a real turkulainen or like a real tamperelainen, that I'm saying it again, all that investment there, that was made in the Akoko, that was made like so many years.
Yeah. Goes to waste.
It will the money will not come back, and worse is that it's gonna bring frustration. And as our social political science specialist here, you can agree with me that most of the frustration that comes from racist talks are that they blame some foreigners for not going to work. They blame foreigners, telling them that you are just here, you don't pay taxes, you just take the money, you are workers, and you are doing anything. And it's not the fault, I'm gonna say you this, it's not the fault of those people that we call racist. It's not their fault because they don't understand. And it's not the fault of the foreigners also who don't have a job. It's the way how the system is built right now, unfortunately.
But what would be the solution? Would it be an easier access to labor market?
Yes, for example.
And joint learning in service and in class?
Give the chance for foreigners like him, open a restaurant here. Foreigners like him.
First, I have to go back to your question before. What is the solution for kids to integrate easier? My idea is that the education is a future investment. They spend €100 to educate them, as an example. So 10% more, €10 more to spend after school, sometimes more with the foreign kids. So teachers has to spend more time with foreign kids, I think. And then school needs more gathering meeting with foreign parents, I think. More investment in this field. But regarding what you said about foreigners, that the foreigners are not guilty or racists are not guilty. But I always have one question. When you need a job in your own country, or I need a job in my own country, was there any kela there or any social there? I go there and I said, that, is there any job for me? I was looking for job, going shop to shop, store to store, company to company, to look at to find a job for myself. But here, most of foreigners are waiting. They call them from work office, from labor office, to tell them that there is a job for you.
I don't agree, sir. I don't agree. I understand. I respect and understand that maybe you have met foreigners. And trust me about this. I don't want to brag about like I was given what it was Turku line. I don't want to even talk about in general. But if I was given that title, it's because actually people who gave it to me, they don't even know me before. I'm telling you, I'm not the only one here in Turku who study hard, who is every day finding job, who have been already in Raisio or Turun Akoko and stuff and are waiting, you know. And we all love Finland. Otherwise, we wouldn't like sit around this table here. There are maybe 2 Finnish and 3 foreigners. But we are here, if we are talking about this topic, it means that we can. It means that we are looking for solutions or we are proposing solutions.
But I don't mean, just no, I don't mean that the foreigners are the guilty one. I don't criticize them. The only thing I believe is that it hasn't been enough working with them culturally. I think the cultural issues here are the biggest problem.
Yeah, but that's the system. That's what I'm saying. You know, the system. There is something that we need to really like look at into the system. Something is not working.
Michael, what you've said it's marvellous, and I'd like to congratulate you on being the new the best new citizen of Turku. But I just want to say one thing. If you are not born in this country, you've got a lot on your shoulders, but you have to grab what you can get, and you have to go and sell yourself. And don't let anyone say we don't brag about ourselves in Finland. You've got to cry. You've got to scream your talents from the rooftops. Otherwise, you won't make it. That's the only way. There is no other.
Absolutely. So you know what they tell me the first time I tried to get to university? They told me that it's not possible. You are not going to get in. You can try whatever you want, but you will not get in.
Who told you that?
Like my friends who have here.
Unofficially.
Nasty discouragement.
You know, they told me that you are not going to get in. I tried the first time. I didn't get in.
Yeah.
But you know what? I went back and told them, I'm going to get in. I have to be in Turku because in Senegal I was in university. Here I will be a student. And I know what to do. Yeah. I have a plan. I have a plan and I work my plan. You know, go study, finish. And this is the message that I'm telling to everyone. Yes. We need to study Finnish. We need to speak Finnish if we want to work here, if we want to live here.
So both responsibility and support, like the society needs to give enough support and also demand enough responsibility of the newcomers. But with this, David, do you want to use the last minute for saying something?
Actually, not. By the way, how did it feel to get this award?
I felt great. To be honest, I felt great because not only for myself, but at least I felt great because I said, if this title can show to the other foreigners that yes, we can
do it.
Yes, it's possible.
Great example, in other words.
Yes, it's possible. Why not?
Okay.
Great. So you have been listening to Conversation Oasis here at Radio Robin Hood, coming to you from Kasviskeidas restaurant here in the city center of Turku. I have been hosting this program. I'm Nana Blomqvist. I'm a junior researcher at Åbo Academy University.
And you'll be hosting it for the next 3 weeks as well.
Obviously, because David is again going on vacation. Again.
I'm a
And-
pensioner.
Yeah, so you are entitled to. With me here, I have had, in addition to David, I had Paco Diop, Kirsi, and Jalal with me. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.